Welcome, you're now listening to Start of Play Football. It's been a couple of days, we've been away, but we're back. Where do we start with that one? Where do we start? Let's start with the subscribers, please. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, like the video, all of those things as well. But boy, what a game. What a game we have just watched. Like, boy, I don't know. If you've been under a rock and you just missed Netherlands versus England semi-finals Euros 2024, what a game! What a game! Final on Sunday, man. The final. There's a lot to unpick. Let's try and unpick it in a constructive way. Obviously, I'm recording this literally straight after the game, so there's a lot to unpick. But let's try and do it in a constructive way. The lineup was what we expected. I think we knew that obviously Mark Guehi was going to come straight back into the lineup. We knew Kobe Mainoo was going to keep his place. We knew that Harry Kane, who we're going to get onto in a minute, we knew he was going to be in the team. But that first half was the best football probably in a long time, not even just in the Euros, but in a long time that we've got to see England actually play attacking football, brilliant football, going forward. And then, that early goal was avoidable. Xavi Simons was always going to get a goal, get a chance in the game. I didn't expect it to come so early as it did. Trippier to Declan Rice, and then losing the ball in that space. No one closing down Simons as well. It was just going to happen at some point. He was going to get a chance, or Gapco was going to get a chance. And you see that goal go in, you think 1-0. You think the worst then. You think maybe another goal, 3-0 to Netherlands before half-time, or 2-0. But the players played really well. Like, England played very, very well in that first half, deserved something out of it. And look, let's be honest, the penalty, is the penalty a penalty? We know it's not a penalty. Like, come on. Like, it's not a penalty at all. Like that, in nine games out of 10, you're not giving that as a penalty. Dumfries, I think, a little bit of a high foot, showing his studs. But Harry Kane, man, he's looking for that. He took the shot. If he didn't get the shot off, I get it. Do you know what I mean? But he got the shot. So for me, that was a very harsh penalty on the Netherlands. I think it was bad. Even during the game, I think they have the VAR assistant in there, and she was like, it's not going to VAR. And then the commentators tell us that it is going to VAR. Me personally, I don't think it was a penalty. I think it was a really soft penalty. We've seen worse decisions getting given in Premier League football and across European football. But I think at this level, when you're talking about someone who's, a team and a match that means so much to both teams, and you're talking about the semi-finals of the Euros, you have to get those things right. And me personally, I don't think that the referees and the VAR officials tonight got that penalty right. But as England fans, we take it. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them. You'll take it because it could have gone the other way. Phil Foden, we have to give Phil Foden a shout, because I thought he was probably, again, had one of his best games for England tonight as well. I think he's grew into the tournament. Obviously, he was playing on the left side of the attack, first games, group stage games, and now he's moved into that more central 10 role, and you can see the difference already. And that's something that a lot of England fans, a lot of pundits, a lot of other people that do YouTube channels have been talking about putting Phil Foden in his natural position, and it's clearly working. We're seeing that a lot more now with him getting on the ball, making things happen going forward. And then even the chance where I think it was Mainoo putting through, brilliant ball through, a little bit of trickery from Foden, and was unlucky. It was a goal line clearance, and then the ball, the shot that ricochets off the bar, very unlucky again for Foden. And maybe unfortunate to get subbed off in the end as well. I think he could have stayed on, But we have to talk about Harry Kane. We have to talk about Harry Kane, because this is a guy that, let's be honest, this is a guy that realistically hasn't turned up at the tournament. Group stage, knockout, hasn't turned up. I know people are going to say he scored the penalty. He scored the goal in the Denmark game, I think it was. But you want your striker to be the striker and be the guy and be Harry Kane's numbers don't match up to how he's playing in this tournament. And you even with Mbappe, with Ronaldo, none of them have lit up the tournament. It's been a low scoring tournament, but you still want to see something from Harry Kane. He's still dropping too deep. He's still, and I get it, you want to get a touch of the ball. You want to try and get involved in the game. You're not getting the service going forward. But, there's moments in the game tonight where Saka's putting beautiful balls into the box, where, Trippier's trying to get a ball into the box, and there's no one in the box. So I think personally for me, Harry Kane has to be dropped in the next game. He has to be dropped. So I think I'm surprised that obviously Gareth Southgate is not going to drop him, but he should be dropped. Like, we know that. He's got to be dropped, because when you're playing Spain, that's going to be a totally different game to how we've been playing. And I think when we come up against Spain, it's going to be a whole different tactically. They're going to set up different to how Netherlands did tonight and all the rest of it. And I think we need someone who's going to be prominent in front of goal, who's going to be there making those runs behind the last defender, looking for that extra yard, the ball in behind the defence and making the space behind them, utilise that. Harry Kane doesn't do that. I think if it was Harry Kane on the chance where Palmer slips it to Ollie Watkins, I think Harry Kane either sees the ball out for a throw-in or he's looking for a penalty. He's not looking to take that shot on like Watkins. So you have to play the players that are going to win you the tournament, and that's just fact. You can't go into that final and still put your trust in someone like Harry Kane. For me personally, who has not played very well this tournament, you can't start him over Ollie Watkins. You just can't do that. Personally, I'm starting Luke Shaw. If he's come on now 2 games, he's clearly fit enough to play at least 60, 70 minutes of a game. If you need to bring on a Trippier or I don't know, someone else on the left side, then you can do that. But personally for me, I am starting with Luke Shaw in that position on Sunday. He has to start there because he looks comfortable. He's the most natural person we've got as a left wing back or a left back. And I think he's just someone that we have to play in that team. Personally, I know Saka played very well today, but you have to put Cole Palmer in that team somehow, or you got to bring him on earlier. You got to bring him on earlier because even just then in that game, you're watching it and you can see he's getting the ball and he's going to make something happen with it. Whether it's going to be a passing behind a defense or where he's going to take on a couple of players, he's going to do something. He's going to do something because that's just what he does. He does it for Chelsea. I watch him every weekend for Chelsea and he gets on the ball and he makes something happen. And the passes that he makes, even the pass tonight for Ollie Watkins' goal, it's like knife through butter. It's just mental. The fact he's hardly really touched many games in the tournament for me is shocking. But, Saka again tonight was very good. So I understand why you can't start Palmer. I thought Kyle Walker played really well at right centre-back with Saka playing as the right wing-back. I thought Guehi coming in made a really good clearance and, last-ditch tackle in the second half as well. Really, really important player for us. Pickford again with a good save, I think, from Van Dijk with a free kick into the box. So, the players dug deep. We have to give them the credit because, Southgate clearly, I don't know what he says to them players at half-time, but he says something and then players take it in and they just sit back and allow all the pressure to come. And I think at this point, you have to, the momentum in that first half was with us. We're playing really well on top of the game. And then you allow Netherlands to come back into it. It was always going to be a risk. It was always going to be a risk doing that. And you can't allow teams, especially at this late stage in the tournament now, you can't allow them opportunity to grow into the game. Spain have been brilliant, won the Nations League. They've done it all. So, you have to kind of give them the credit. But listen, final on Sunday. Let's talk about Ollie Watkins' goal actually because Ollie Watkins, I feel like he's one of those players that has gone very unnoticed, especially for Villa. I remember saying that he has to be in the squad because of the goals that he scored and the contributions, and Aston Villa get into the Champions League for next season. He has to be in the squad. And now he's proving why he might even need to start ahead of Harry Kane. You got to think this might be Harry Kane's last tournament, so you got to start phasing him out of the game. phase him out of the team and bring in Ollie Watkins because he deserves the opportunity. He's played really well. I will say this as well, and it might not go down well with some people, but I do feel that Jude Bellingham needs to do a little bit more as well. He gets into good spaces. He makes, his link-up play is very good, and he makes critical passes at the right time at some times, but he's not doing it often enough for me. And I think sometimes you've got to be able to, as good as Jude is, you've got to be able to influence the game a bit more for me. And I'm seeing him sometimes and he's making the run into the box, but the pass isn't coming to him, getting frustrated a bit tonight with the yellow card as well. You've got to keep a cool head. If you're going to be the guy that's going to try and lead, you want to be the guy that leads the country through and whatever else. And that's great. That's calm. We like that. But you've got to keep a level head because we can't afford for those rash decisions in the final where you're lunging in for a tackle, you're getting sent off, we're down to 10 men. We don't need any of that. So I just think at the more critical parts of the game, I think he's got to be more effective for the right reasons as opposed to lunging in. I know there's history between him and the ref and all that, but he's got to be a bit more in control of the game in that midfield. And maybe that's me being harsh on him, but I feel he can do a lot more. I've seen him play for Real Madrid and Dortmund, and I don't really see the hype around what he's doing at the moment. But he might change that, and he might be the one that changes it on Sunday. Let's hope he does. But I think personally, Southgate has to win this tournament. There's no excuses for me. I think Spain are going to be difficult. They've been the best team arguably in the whole tournament throughout. Played the most attractive and amazing football that we got to see over the last 4 or 5 weeks. But look, you can't come into this with Jude Bellingham, Harry Kane, allegedly the best striker and one of the best strikers in the world. You can't come into it with the options that you got on the right side with Trippier, Kyle Walker and Trent, with Saka now playing as a right wing back. You can't come into this with Kobbie Mainoo in the form that he's in. Again, another player that's had an amazing night tonight. Kobbie Mainoo looks like an England vet the way he's playing. He just walked into the team and he looks like a regular. You can't come into this team and tell me that we can't match up like for like, machine for machine with Spain, because it's not. Do you know what I mean? That don't wash with me. So we have to take the game to Spain, and we can't allow Spain to dictate the game, dictate the tempo, slow the game down. We have to play exactly like we did tonight against the Netherlands, the full tempo, attacking, pressing, energy, high line. Kyle Walker playing like he was for Man City tonight. We've got to play that game against Spain for 90 minutes. Because if we let them in the game and we sit back and we invite the pressure and we try to soak in the pressure, we haven't got the defenders to do that for 90 minutes. We haven't got the legs in the midfield to do that for 90 minutes. We have to take the game to Spain and try and get the early goal. We are going to do a proper preview for that before Sunday. But let's just talk about the goal, Ollie Watkins, before we wrap up. Very similar to Ivan Toney when he came on, and you think back to the game against Switzerland and how effective he was for that game as well. What can you say, man? I mean, the ball in from Cole Palmer is exquisite. It's literally on a plate for him. And it's weird because, like I said before, most strikers would probably not take that shot on. Away from goal a little bit, having to kind of adjust your body. But Ollie Watkins has been doing that for Aston Villa all season. If you watch him, he likes to just get the ball, get it from under his body a little bit and just literally take the shot first time. It's almost like he knows where the goal is. And just before I started recording, I think he said as well that he told Cole Palmer that you're going to assist me today. You're going to set me up for a goal. We're both going to come on. You're going to assist me for the goal and I'm going to score the goal. And look, he spoke into existence and here it is. It's here. So I'm happy for them, the two of them, because they both deserve a bit more credit than they've gotten. I feel sorry for Trent, scoring the penalty last weekend, Saturday, and not really getting a run out tonight. But look, sometimes you got to take the rough and the smooth. And, Trent will be back for another tournament. If he's not in the final on Sunday, he'll be back. I don't think personally Gareth Southgate is going to change much in that team on Sunday. I think he'll keep the team that came out today. Me, personally, I don't want to see Harry Kane in that team. I don't think Harry Kane should even start the game. I think he needs to come on as an impact sub. If we need a penalty, you bring him on. If he's injured, which is what they're saying on the pundits are saying on the TV that he's injured, or Ian Wright saying he might have an injury, then if that is the case, start Ollie Watkins, put him in that lineup, let him do what he can do, because he looked like he had a lot more energy than Harry Kane did in the last 2 games. So you got to start Ollie Watkins for me. And I've been saying this from before. I think I said Ivan Toney or Watkins in the last game last Saturday. But one of them two has to start over Harry Kane for me, because they're giving a lot more for the country than Harry Kane has the whole tournament. I don't know if we're ready for that conversation or not, but last words before we go. Gareth Southgate, don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up. Please do not fuck this up. Sunday is crucial. The country is relying on you. It is pissed down all of July, nearly. What are we? 10 days into July. And every day, bar probably one, it has rained and pissed down. We need something to look forward to. Please, Gareth Southgate, don't fuck this up. Get the squad right. Play the football that we need to play like we did in the first half tonight. Make the subs early. Please, because me, and the nation can't sit there 80 minutes waiting for these subs to come on Sunday. We need them earlier than that. Please. Make the subs and get it right, because we need to see the trophy come home. Literally. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think. Who would you start on Sunday? Let me know what you think, man. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back before Sunday's final with another match preview. England versus Spain, Euro 2024 final. We'll be back, man. I'm out. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.